から出た気分。二人はそれぞれの責任に立って突き進むのだった。
Imagine this, a mild to moderate eczema treatment that targets inflammation at a key source right where you need it, without steroids. Now, imagine using one single cream to help clear skin and fix the itch. No, it's not imaginary. It's Opzelura, eczema treatment reimagined. Opzelura is proven to help clear or almost clear skin and significantly reduce itch fast. Imagine that.
Opzelura can lower your ability to fight infections. Tell your doctor if you have or had an infection, TB, hepatitis B or C, blood clots in your legs or lungs, heart attack, stroke, cancer, high cholesterol, are a smoker or pregnant. Opzelura may cause serious lung infections, certain cancers, immune system problems, blood clots, and low blood cell counts. Major cardiovascular events or death occurred in those 50 plus taking oral JAK inhibitors. The most common side effect was the common cold.
Ask your eczema specialist about reducing itch fast with Opzelura. Relief reimagined.
Next up, Chris, male 29. He just bought a
All right.
$50 banana slicer at 2 a.m.
Hey guys, I'm doing video chats right now.
Research how to tell if your cat loves you.
I know just.
Betrayed by your cat? Adopt a dog today.
Yeah, they know, but not with Surfshark VPN. Protect yourself from tracking and take back your privacy. Get Surfshark.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra.
Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value. Select Sierra 1500 models.
今日紹介するカードはブラックアウトカーテン。これを使えば他のプレイヤーにバインダーの中身を覗かれなくて済むぜ。キルアだったら覗かれてもいいの？はぁ？
中から人が出てきたら、あとはそいつの指示に従えばいい。楽しかったよ。頑張りな。
うん、サンキュー。ここ、ミハイルさんのお宅ですか？
駅前のビッグサクラで買い物しな。会計の時、これを渡せ。
お客様、こちらへどうぞ。
There's no fucking anime. Ancient aliens.
Behind them, man, but rocket faster than the speed of light. And then he said, well, wait a minute. I think I can duplicate that.
Hi guys.
In Al Cubier's theoretical model, the warp drive vehicle is surrounded by an energy bubble within space-time.
You need energy to create a bubble, what's called a warp bubble surrounding your starship. Then you need what is called negative energy to drive it faster than the speed of light, while inside you feel almost nothing.
When we look at the idea of a warp bubble that could surround a spacecraft, in the video, engineers are seeing exactly that principle in action. As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, warp bubble technology could be on display not only in the gimbal video, but also in artwork created centuries ago, like the Pharaoh's Blue Bubble, the Tibetan Lotus Throne, the Ascension of Christ.
These people see aliens everywhere.
And countless other sacred images that seemingly show identical phenomena. So you have to wonder, what is it that the artist tried to depict here?
They tried to depict their aura.
Clark said,
That's what it
"Any
was.
advanced technology is
Oh, this guy cut his hair?
indistinguishable from magic." These are powerful examples that are suggesting ascended beings who travel the stars in magic bubbles. The precise
Magic
matches the
bubbles.
Alcubierre warp bubble concept.
Okay.
Could these ancient drawings be showing us the same thing that we're seeing today in these modern-day infrared cameras? Is it possible
No, it's not, because they didn't have infrared cameras back in the
found
days.
throughout history and all around the world
My stomach hurts.
represent an alien technology? Perhaps further clues can be found.
These people
by
are tripping.
Another extraordinary Navy video and its direct connection to the ancient world.
Very classy, right?
When you save with teachers, you're making
Eddie, Giannis.
smart decisions that
Eddie,
lead to more savings.
I know you be in Manhattan. We gotta meet up one day.
The kind of
After
vacation
work.
that lead to more time to relax. And when you have
Loxos
more time
told
to
me
relax, you have
that
more
you
time
would
to
be a
write
good
book
client
about how
for
to
me.
relax. And when you write a book on how
We
to
just gotta get a
relax,
good day.
you become the literary world's hottest best-selling author. Saving with teachers is smart. Where will smart take you? Teachers Federal Credit Union. Smart for
Oh, my
all.
stomach hurts so bad, guys.
You died. Now you hide to nurse. The devil.
Stuck in this out for how long?
Step on or skip in school.
Did you take our son along for a demon fight yesterday?
I'm just trying to do something nice here.
Let me get some sandals.
The Academy Charter School, where opportunity meets excellence, and our classrooms young minds grow through curiosity, exploration, and discovery. On the field, we build teamwork, resilience, and confidence. In the arts, students express their creativity and find their voices. And through our STEM program, scholars engage in hands-on learning, innovation, and problem-solving for the future. Now accepting applications for the 2025-2026 school year, from kindergarten through 7th grade at our Wyandanch campus.
Los Angeles, California, May 2021. Veteran journalist George Knapp and documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell published astonishing video they acquired from the USS Omaha that shows a mysterious spherical object flying at speeds approaching 160 miles per hour before disappearing into the ocean.
Splash. The USS Omaha is one of the central pieces of evidence that I put forward to the American public.
good.
There were objects that were swarming this Navy warship, and one in particular appears to transcend between the space of air and into sea. They called it a trans-medium vehicle, a vehicle that can operate equally as well from in the air and under the water. Now, this was suspected, but when they went to go look for this craft under the water or for wreckage, none was found.
That's crazy.
Tennessee Representative
None was found, or the government stole it.
For disclosure of UFO sightings was one of the first members of Congress to review the footage.
To me, it is pretty astounding. And they showed that craft actually going and it popping up, and it looked like it didn't even slow down. Wasn't any friction at all when it hit the water. So to me, that's something that we can't even begin to understand, I don't think. I've read the mathematical equations, friction, things like that, and it just defies all of that.
How could a vehicle fly into the water at 100 miles per hour? Well, that suggests either the surface of this vehicle is frictionless and it wouldn't have any interaction with any material it's flying through, or it's not frictionless, it's actually a warp bubble where the spacecraft or craft is inside it.
The stresses and strains by flying through the atmosphere in outer space and then plunging into the oceans would be enough to rupture any of our known aircraft.
I did, but you didn't see it.
Of USOs, unidentified submerged or submersible objects, are much more common.
See? They're nice and moisturized.
In 1991, John Yu Shan, a fisherman, was at Fuxian Lake when he encountered this strange craft in the waters of the lake. He described it as a shining disc. This UFO was so close and so powerful that it actually tossed the boat around. And then rapidly, this craft just disappeared up into the sky. Over the years, there have been many, many cases of UFOs seen over the water, disappearing under the water, and in some cases, emerging from under the water.
On December 29, 2020, a very curious thing happened off of the coast of Hawaii. People could see a huge cigar-shaped craft hovering off the coast and took photos of it. And eventually, this craft then plunged into the ocean. And Navy went out there to also look for possible wreckage of some craft crashing into the ocean and found nothing.
One theory about this transmedium travel, these USOs, is that what we're seeing is evidence of underwater bases. Now, this makes a good deal of sense. The distance involved for interstellar travel means that it's much easier to have a base on the location that you're interested in than to constantly travel there and back. But what if that presence goes back millennia? They're operating here, but under the oceans, right under our noses.
When we see the spherical object in the video taken by the USS Omaha hovering for a time and then descending into the water, this opens up some really interesting.
What happened to the internet? My internet is always going down.
For humanity taught writing and science and other concepts. What's amazing about this is that Owens also found
Alright, let me see. Somebody wanna
of beings
video
called
chat.
Apkali priests, who also wore fish cloaks. And in Sumerian cylinder seals, we see these Apkali priests on either side of a luminous or radiant tree of life with a winged disc hovering above. The inference is that this craft came from the sea, because these are priests of a sea being. And so here's an example of an ancient being emerging from the sea and connected with the craft.
Owanas belonged to a group of powerful beings known in ancient Mesopotamia as the Anunnaki.
The term Anunnaki means those who from the heavens came, and refers to beings descending from the sky, imparting knowledge. That is the most important thing that we can read and learn about the Anunnaki, that they were our teachers. So I think it's very possible that what the ancient people tried to record was an extraterrestrial visitation.
For ancient astronaut theorists, perhaps the most compelling evidence of an alien presence versus Earth's ocean can be found in an account from 1492, recorded by Christopher Columbus.
It's a famous story about Christopher Columbus, and he wrote this in his journals, that as he was moving west across the Atlantic towards the Caribbean in his first voyage, he saw a light out in the ocean to the west, hovering over the water. And this light that descended into the water. But Columbus felt that this light was guiding him towards his destination. So, with this growing
It probably was because the aliens be wanting to help, like the Aryans, Aryan nation.
one of the first witnesses to destroy
They were aliens before, so I feel like the aliens want to help the white race, not gonna lie.
and then disappear into it like a submarine.
Okay, so when Christopher Columbus was around, there was no airplanes, there was nothing. He's saying that the UFO led him to his destination. What do you think that is? Some fucking aliens. What else is gonna come from the ocean? A light coming from the ocean.
Ancient astronaut theorists say yes.
And then there's a story about Alexander the Great saying that some flying thing came and shot a beam at a wall, and that's how they got in there, because they weren't even going to get into that area if it wasn't for that UFO that supposedly came and opened. Like, it just sounds insane, but then you really have to think, you know, how much of this is true, because he would not have got through that wall if it wasn't for the UFO smashing it. Even with Christopher Columbus, he probably wouldn't have gone to that place if it wasn't for the UFO guiding him. I don't know, that shit's pretty weird. And why would they lie about it? You know what I mean? Why would they lie? How could you lie about something you just, I don't know. How could you lie about something that isn't even fathomable to people of your time? A light coming from the ocean. Why would they even say that? Why did he just say a dragon or something fake?
Umbo may cause liver problems. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to. Ask your doctor to learn more.
Yes, I've seen that one. There's one with the UFO outside Mary's house, and it's beaming to her head, and then there's another one, like a person flying in the background. And you literally see like a man flying in a star.
Long-term weight loss surgery at the New York Bariatric Group. I lost a total of 130 pounds. It was such a refreshing experience.
The day before yesterday.
For me. Call the New York Bariatric Group and change your life.
New York Bariatric Group. Together, we've got this.
Hey, look at that. They got one of DirecTV's new genre packs. I think you mean genre packs. Yeah, that's what I said. Now they can pay less and pick just the TV they want. Pick the TV they want. Yeah, now you get the picture. I give them.
Washington, D.C., June 15th, 2021.
I'm so bored. That's what happens when you wake up at like 3 p.m.
Speaks with a reporter about the much anticipated government UAP report, due to be released in less than 2 weeks. To the surprise of many, he suggests that UFOs have been around.
Congressman demands UFO records because it's in the Bible. It says it in the Bible. Better release these damn UFO files.
Well, this is straight out of the Bible. This is the book of Ezekiel. And I thought, my goodness, he's an ancient astronaut theorist.
We have seen a lot of unsolicited comments by congressmen, politicians, even heads of the CIA have come forward and given an opinion about UFOs. This has been such a shocking
Souls.
revelatory few
That's
years
why
about UFOs.
you guys could get a video
You're
chat.
now seeing people go back to the Bible and trying to understand if those events are similar to the events that we're having today.
Congressman Burchett's bold assertion that UFOs can be found in the Bible was a conclusion he came to after a careful study of the book of Ezekiel. According to this text, the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel describes a fiery chariot.
A fiery chariot. That is a UFO.
Each creature is flanked by a metallic object.
Flanked.
A wheel within a wheel that Ezekiel observes as
His
it descends
eyes?
in a whirlwind, making tremendous noise.
It's pretty clear what's going on.
Tremendous noise. That wasn't no UFO then. That was like some man-made shit. They don't really be making too much noise. They saying that's what it looks like.
What I would say was what people describe as a UFO. I mean, it's a wheel.
Oh, that's why he thought it had eyes. That gold looks so pretty in this lighting.
So to me, it sounds like Ezekiel saw something that he cannot accurately describe. And he used things around him that he would see on a day-to-day basis to describe what he saw. The closest thing he has is a wheel, because that was the chemical technology at the time, was a wheel.
To Congressman Burchett and many others, the new videos indicate that crafts like those seen by Ezekiel are still with us in the present.
I think it's the same kind of thing that's being depicted in old times as being depicted.
Damn, they look so good right now.
There's just too much similarity for it not to if you heard the snake pilots.
Let's take a dab.
You can tell they're excited and they're trying to explain what they're seeing. Much like Ezekiel would try to define what he was seeing. And so I think that it proves that they're not alone.
To many UFO researchers, the only difference between ancient sightings like Ezekiel's and modern 21st century encounters is that today, people have the technology to record them.
We have seen throughout history that individuals will testify to seeing in the sky, shields on fire. More information to say, yes, this happened.
Levitation.
The difference now is we are able to measuring of the rotation and the speeds. That is just something we did not have before. We did not have it before, but we have it now. So, I'm excited to be alive. Countless times,
Soy Latina. Hispana.
or flying furnaces.
Spanish mommy. Chocolate toes. Chocolatey toe.
Those words. And so, in my opinion, there is a clear connection between the sightings that we have today and the sightings that we have in the past. Because if we would not have the vocabulary, what we see in those Navy videos can be described as a flying shield. These kinds of images have been with us throughout our entire history, and they're all telling the same thing. That the ancient astronauts never left. The same visitors that we've had back then are showing themselves again, and this time publicly. It's incredible.
As the photographic and video evidence of UFOs continues to grow, so too does the number of people who believe that governments around the world know more than they are disclosing.
Of course they know more. They probably doing half of that shit.
The idea that the US government,
The government is doing half of that shit. When I was little, I didn't know that they had all these programs.
you hear of people in Congress.
There's only a few things where I'm like, that might be aliens. But I think for most of the stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to think it's the government. But the only thing that doesn't make sense is like the 1600 sightings, because we definitely didn't have planes.
That when something like this happens, they are generally told not to bring it up. They can have psych evaluations, they can have things put into records, and they're encouraged not to bring these kind of things up.
If the United States government and other governments around the world were to reveal all the evidence they have concerning UFOs, would it show irrefutable proof that there is an alien air force on Earth? Ancient astronaut theorists suspect the truth is even more incredible.
I think these sandals will fit me.
In top secret facilities,
Barely.
extraterrestrial craft.
I mean, I guess they fit. But so perfectly that if they were any bigger, they'd be too small.
Beyond the crowds, in the moments few ever forget, moments that stop, inspire, and stay with you. Travel beyond ordinary.
Like, they fit, yeah, but once I'm walking and stuff, I feel be out here. Ooh, look how cool that looks, the toe shadow. Look how cute. They look like little munchkins. They look like little dicks with condoms on. Wow, that's perfection right there.
Who needs that more?
I could see the mathematical perfection from here, guys.
I paid for so many.
Download the Experian app now.
Brown is the color of the moment in my house, apparently.
Technology as innovative as it is.
Got the brown coffee table, the brown shoes, the brownish rose gold sandals.
Get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days on these Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Houston, Texas, 2019. NASA's Advanced Propulsion Physics Lab, known as the EagleWorks Project, announces that based on their latest experiments, they now believe it is possible to create an actual warp drive and a spacecraft that can travel faster than the speed of light.
Latest warp
The
drive
team
ship
at NASA's
designs.
EagleWorks has been trying to reproduce a warp field.
Why haven't I been watching the show?
results have been right at the edge of experimental error right now, so they're not ready to go build the Starship Enterprise. But it's possible that they can do an experiment that says we could build the Starship Enterprise if we put enough work into it.
While some believe that
Well,
such
that sounds like it's
revolutionary
gonna be a long
technology
time.
is purely the result of human ingenuity. Others maintain that such advances are possible because secret government agencies possess and are able to study crashed alien vehicles. It is a theory that goes back to the famous Roswell crash of 1947.
Roswell happened in 47, Roswell, New Mexico. They put out a UFO crash. It was on the headlines of the papers. Then the next day they came back and said, no, in fact, it was a weather balloon. And it just contradicted everything everybody had said.
Many have alleged that the U.S. government secretly retrieved an alien spacecraft from Roswell. In 1989, a scientist named Bob Lazar even came forward to say that he worked for the U.S. government, reverse engineering crashed extraterrestrial vehicles, divulging incredible details about the secret project in the years that followed.
The government is holding 9 alien spacecraft that are propelled by a modified gravity generator. it's being
Look
work
at
is
my
being
hair.
conducted 50
It's so
miles south
pretty.
of light.
So curly right now.
reason you know about UFOs in Area 51 and that connection is because of Bob Lazar. He was faced with a lot of adversity through this, but in my eyes, he's telling you the truth, and it's backed up time and time again.
For decades, the U.S. government denied Lazar's claims, as well as the existence of the facility where he said the alien craft were being held, Area 51. But in 2013, a Freedom of Information Act request finally forced officials to admit that Area 51 is real.
For the government to say the things they say and to hold back on these reports, and it goes back to Roswell, I mean, those 100 spots, it's just, no one trusts the government. We don't trust the government. We don't think that it's
Yes, you guys. Y'all know the lore. Trust me, I know the lore. I was listening to his shit since like early 2000s when we didn't know he was telling the truth. But this man literally went to the place he said he worked at and showed everybody around and was waving at the employees like, "Oh, hey, Sandra." And Sandra was like, "Hey, what's up? How you been?" Like, they all knew him. They all knew him. And he knew where everything was. So, how didn't he work there? Like, he had to have worked there. Of course. Of course. I got a few MPs from recently. I'm on my big boy shit now. This was like, I don't even know, some Cara. This was cool. Some Smiley, Raspberry Runts. This was pretty good. I think I might still have some of this left. Got this. Was fire. This is the brand from High Demand if you want their number. This is decent. Raspberry Runts. I'm gonna take out another one and turn my thing off. I don't know about that. What y'all think about the crystal skulls? Yes, I told you to text me. Were you the one that texted me, yo? Because I texted you back and then you never text me back. Send me your number through DM if you want.
December 12th, 2012, Miami, Florida. Just days before the Miami
water feels so good.
Hundreds converge here at the Miami Circle. an archaeological site that was once a sacred center for the Native American Tequesta tribe. They are gathered to witness a native ritual involving an ancient relic known as the Crystal Skull.
That shit is creepy.
Similar events centered around these mysterious crystal artifacts continue to draw large crowds. But why? What is it about the crystal skulls?
Why? Why you had to say it like that? Why? No. I literally saw your text. I'm pretty sure you would text me, yo. I text you back. You never text me. I might have to text you from my 929 number.
Times when these skulls can be brought back together and their power can be amplified.
Wait, what's the other one? 201. Oh my god, I already forgot the other phone number.
Skulls are containers of great knowledge, great wisdom, information.
I don't even know what the area code for that one is. 202, that number.
That these crystal skulls are something particularly special. And actually,
No, that definitely wasn't me, because when I got no response, I was like, damn. The 19 number.
There have been literally hundreds of crystal skulls found throughout the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the other one.
There are only 13 which are believed to possess an awesome mystical power.
The crystal skulls have become so famous that the field has been flooded.
Text that one instead. I don't think I ever got your text.
These skulls are trying to pretend as if their skull is ancient. And this, of course, is very difficult because at the same time, we have the skeptics, the scientists, who basically say it is all fake. And so as a result of which, we're really confronted with a mixture of crystal skulls.
Those toes look so good. Ooh, it looks so good. Let me see. Anyone text me for a video chat?
13 authentic skulls have been discovered and are in private collections. But where did these so-called authentic skulls come from? And how were they discovered? In the late 19th century, museums in London and Paris displayed crystal skulls as genuine Mesoamerican religious relics. But today,
Guys, my phone was like saying it was dying. When am I free in Queens tomorrow? Should be there by like 6.
It's simply unscientific.
Like crystal skulls enthusiasts, many ancient astronaut theorists believe that the 12 known ancient quartz
I
skulls
should go to sleep early tonight. Like, I'm bored, bro. I'm supposed to go out, and I was supposed to do a session, but I took too long. And oh yeah, I gotta fold some clothes. I'll do that. Just clean the bathroom.
There are suggestions that these skulls may have been from a
I
non-human
don't know what to do with
source.
my life
The
tonight.
evidence for this is scarce, but the mythology
I'll be going out at this time, you know, like it's Thursday.
in prehistoric times. They were
Time to
revered.
party.
Several Native American tribes have similar.
Oh yeah, I got this beautiful candle.
Skulls that were said to have been left behind by the earliest ancestors way back in the mist of time. Some believe that these are ancient
With you
artifacts
guys' money.
left behind by extraterrestrials, or that they were remnants left over from the lost civilization.
It's a mango, coconut, and papaya.
According to legend, the secret of the skulls will be
smells so good.
revealed when the original 13 skulls come together to form a global grid.
Oh my god, this shit. They're still touting that stupid theory.
Will awaken sacred knowledge of the
Will awaken sacred knowledge.
that has been hidden from mankind for thousands of years.
Okay, but it never
According
happened.
to some Native
Stories.
American myths, there are 12 inhabited planets out there. And each one of those skulls contains information from those planets, including Earth.
And the reason why there's a 13th skull is because the 13th skull contains the knowledge of all those planets. It's basically a backup.
Oh, yes.
It's genuinely possible that some of these crystal skulls are many, many thousands of years old. People have suggested, too, that some crystal skulls aren't from this planet and that they have been brought here from other solar systems. And, of course, if that were the case, they would have been brought here by extraterrestrials.
Crystal skulls with extraterrestrial origins?
I got it.
Is such a profound theory even possible? Perhaps the answer can be found by examining one of the oldest and most enigmatic crystal skulls ever found. Tomb Belize, Central America.
Belize.
Here, in the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, lay the ruins of an ancient pre-Columbian city that thrived in the 8th century AD. In 1924, explorer Frederick Albert Mitchell Hedges and his daughter Anna discover a human-sized skull made of clear quartz crystal.
Wow, that's
it
sick.
has a detachable jaw, making it one of the most unique
that's sick.
accurate of all the crystal skulls.
That is sick. It detaches from the jaw, so it opens.
Mitchell Hedges passed away in 1957.
It's to cut
the skull was bestowed to
the
his
candle.
She guarded the skull for more than a decade before allowing it to be studied.
It was studied by a guy named Frank Dorland. And what he found was that the skull was completely baffling to him. He would come down at night to find the room completely glowing, and the crystal skull was literally lighting up itself, a dark room, like it was a light. All kinds of strange phenomena
I don't believe that.
around the skull, including people would hear strange sounds and smell things like sudden flowers and things like that.
Flowers.
With no explanation, but that it was coming from the skull. So all kinds of unusual things were happening around the skull, and Dorland himself
The skull
couldn't figure
smells
out
like
how the skull had been
flowers.
made.
When it comes to Mitchell
Yes,
Hedges'
vape
crystal skull,
graveyard.
has been analyzed on a number of occasions.
Vape graveyard for
Frank
sure.
Dorland in the 1960s did it as a private individual.
This is supposed to be in the trash.
And the British did a very short analysis in 1980 as well. So this skull has been subjected to a number of detailed scientific analyses. In all of those occasions, what was found was that it was almost impossible
Oh, that tastes
for
awful.
a human being to make.
These are very old.
That examiner skull actually said this skull shouldn't exist.
Oh lord, that was bad. Let me see this one.
The idea that perhaps these crystal skulls were not made
Yeah,
by
that's dead. That's why they're in there.
and many people to this day still think that.
The entire mythology of the Mayans is based on extraterrestrial encounters
I don't know about
in the
that.
past. Mitchell Hedges was told by the locals that their ancestors gave that skull to them. My question is, who were those ancestors, and is their origin out there? And the answer, of course, is yes.
It's probably humans.
Could the Mitchell Hedges skull really be an ancient extraterrestrial world, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest? And if so, might this skull and others like it around the world really possess supernatural powers?
I love showing my toes.
Perhaps further evidence can be found by examining the history of another crystal skull, one linked to an
I hate
ancient
that time.
original tribe half a world away.
Let's see. Oh, this stank. I don't even like this one. Look at this. Insane jar.
and secure internet and protect your network. Built in cybersecurity, starting at just $60 a month. Plus, more services you bundle, the more you save. This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of size. Oh, and it's free to
Now that is crazy jar.
When you travel with town, it's not just the places you visit, it's the way you experience.
Is that an orange? He's an orange. I'm gonna try it. It smells like grapefruits. So I did half of that and half of starfruit pebbles. Now, I'm sure you haven't heard of a lot of these. This is something I got at the Billy's.
The Melanesian Islands off the coast of Papua New Guinea, 8th century AD.
Very nice stars, though.
According to legend, Aboriginal tribal leaders set sail east toward the Hawaiian Islands.
Definitely giving Honey Banana vibes.
A highly revered ancestral crystal
And then
skull,
this brand's pretty cool too.
known as Synergy, is under the care of guardian Sherry Whitfield. It was given to her as a gift by a European businessman.
I don't know, I just like fruity. That's all I want is fruity. Just give me fruity. That's all I need in my life. Fruity, fruit, and orange terp, and a fruit terp, and a candy terp. That's what I need. No, some of them was at the show and some of them were friends.
And they declared 24 hours of feasting and telling stories about the skulls. It was really cool because really they don't talk that much about the skulls in their everyday life. It's part of their sacred secrets and their teachings. Now they say that they didn't make the skull, that it was passed to them as a legacy. So they don't sell skull often. Their legend is that their tribe was started by a white man and a black man, twins. Their whole religion revolves around twins. And they have the twin of this skull. Their legend thought that there were two of these skulls made identical. There's a
Powerful spirit, like what kind of spirit? A good spirit? Powerful doesn't mean good.
Meaning spirits of the remote ancestors that have to do with a particular group's creation story, or recently dead ancestors. Spiritual energy in Melanesian society is just not for people, it can be in places and objects, and plants and animals.
The notion of a spiritual energy
trying to be mean, but I want them to show how these people look. These people had a crystal skull. They made that somehow. With what tools? Not to be mean, but it don't seem like they can make that. What the fuck?
Is it really possible for objects like crystal skulls?
No. No, I don't believe that. Seems crazy.
And if so, where do these spirits come from?
Where do these spirits come from? This is crazy.
Talks about descending from the sky, Barkukul and Mars, in which they spent. It was considered to be the golden age. After that time ended, guess what? The two of them went back up into the sky.
Known to be used for divination, whereby somebody basically makes contact with an intelligence who
That I
is
can
either
believe.
contactable or resident within this
It's a
crystal
telephone. It's ET phone hall. I get it.
Crystal skulls really provide a link to mankind's extraterrestrial ancestors, as many ancient astronaut theorists believe. And if so, is there something unique about the properties of these translucent objects that could enable them to contain supernatural powers? Anglesey, British Isles, 60 AD.
Look at my cat.
Roman soldiers conquered.
Don't pretend you wasn't knocked out.
A class of mystics and priests whose roots stretch back to the dawn of European
So
civilization.
cute.
Everything that we know about the Druids, we know through their enemies, the Romans, who went to a great deal of trouble
Go to sleep.
exterminate the Druids because they saw them likely as social organizers, as important
You're getting very
leaders around whom the
sleepy.
Celtic tribes
Oh,
coalesced.
sleepy.
Many
He's sleepy.
get affinity to the Druids. For example, the Druids held mystical knowledge. The Druids had a philosophy of reincarnation.
The Druids used crystal to tell fortunes, to read the future, to do ecstatic mystical rituals. The Scott Pioneers called
Happy.
power. There's something about
It's a fat and happy boy.
clarity, the strange
Who's a fat and happy boy?
and the crystal ball that grew out of this is more recent years really help a person slip into a sort of trance state from which they're able to imagine or hear or experience or see something that is taken as important information. The information was considered to come from the gods or the spirits.
Gazing into a crystal ball was another means in medieval times with the world of the divine.
You see his neck?
To make contact with otherworldly intelligence.
Is it possible that ancient cultures accessed other dimensions through the use of crystal objects, as some ancient astronaut theorists suggest? And if so, might there be a scientific reason why divination objects like crystal skulls are made of this unique material?
Crystal has a unique lattice structure. And
Okay, let's get into it.
other dimensional quality. It can transmit and receive messages from other dimensions.
So maybe quartz is quantum connected to other dimensions because you could store memory. You could literally store data in crystals.
It's interesting because when you think of the legend,
So if they already stored the data in the crystal and somehow it's quantumly connected to another dimension, maybe that's how they could do it. Maybe that's how they could call somebody else in another dimension, but I don't know. Like, that's as much as I could theorize about it. Because I need some science behind my shit. You know what I mean? I really do. I need some science. Wow, that's so cool. Interdimensional communication. You gotta get high and watch this shit. Interdimensional communication. But doesn't it just have to be a giant piece of quartz? What does it matter that it's a skull?
What is out there? What helped us get here?
Is this channel only plays Ancient Aliens? Let's see. Fuck. Oh my god, no, it's the crystal skulls they're talking about.
Archaeology has only discovered 10%
Channel. Hello.
I can't imagine
Fuck.
what else you will discover. The series researchers here.
You know how fucking remotes work?
Anything else that we have on Earth who ask big questions. There was no written language. How was this planned as a grant? This is a revolutionary discovery. Ancient aliens.
Uh-huh. What the fuck?
Lhasa, Tibet. March 1950.
So it works, but it doesn't change the channel.
And a small group of high lamas flee into the treacherous Himalayan mountains, risking imprisonment, torture, and even death to make the 14-day trek to Nepal. According to reports, in their possession was a
This shit don't work.
22-pound crystal skull named Amal.
I've heard many stories about
Looks
a
fake.
Dalai Lama who fled from China, took a large crystal skull. Other Tibetan monks who risked their lives hiding crystal skulls when the Chinese came. So that tells me there also is something more than just a physical infatuation with these objects. That there's some spiritual component.
Now the Tibetan priest who hauled a 22-pound crystal skull
Fake.
specifically to stop it from getting into the wrong hands.
Why does the nose look so
Building a
weird?
human skull out of crystal could serve as a sort of antenna for the consciousness of someone who is a highly adept meditator to be able to focus their minds for the purpose of healing or
I have to go soon. In a minute.
And other crystal skulls.
Bavaria, Germany. This guy talks mad funny. I was about to put the batteries in the fucking peak. I'm so dumb. Let's see. The fucking remote don't work.
I, for one, think that probably Heinrich Himmler had procured the crystal skull.
Oh my god.
Since we're really obsessed part of that was the crystal skull. The Nazis were heavily involved in the underground. Nazis specifically
went out again. Are you telling me something with my internet? What the hell is that? Let me see. Somebody walking outside. Do they have a dog? People never walk outside. Yeah, he does. That's so weird. What time is it? 12:30 at night? I've never seen nobody walking their dog this late ever. Okay, I was gonna say it had to be somebody who live around here because anyways, let me see this light across the street. It's really weird. No, you can't see with the phone. No, you can't see. I don't know. There must be some nighttime lights in the restaurant. Whatever. It just looked like the fucking restaurant was on fire from the inside.
Perhaps the answer can be found by examining the possible reasons
Yeah, text
why these
me.
mysterious crystal relics were fashioned in the shape of human skulls in the first place.
I was about to put the batteries in the peak. This shit don't work. What happened to this remote?
The crystallized form of the human skull was believed to represent the imminence of the soul upon death. It may
I don't believe this shit. You're saying it's haunted.
focuses this human energy
Okay.
could be used as a form of propelling into a spirit to resonate with their own skull to raise the frequency of their bioenergy field so that
Okay. Whatever you say, sir.
One interesting thing about crystal skulls, crystal is a clear thing, and the end of the skull is very dark, so you have light and dark combined in the same symbol. Seeing something combine a holistic bridging of the light and the dark.
Would there be more batteries?
Death and another world, the world of the dead. In Greece mythology, there was an other world, a death world, to which everyone died, and there was their own world.
Have a deep meaning stands for the transcendence of death or overcoming of death. So it's a symbol that also represents
With 13 ancient crystal objects shaped like humans in an effort to suggest the power of life and death. If so, what is the source of such a power? And why is it unknown to mankind for centuries?
I thought there was more batteries in here. is definitely bad. Where the fuck are my batteries? Oh, this is so bad. Oops. Trash. What else is in here that needs to get thrown out? The fuck are these batteries? I don't know. How am I gonna change the channel from each channel? Every single one of my salads and vegetables in here is bad. I'm gonna be eating this shit. I don't know why I bought it. Just some of the hemp, I guess. No more plastic bags. Who knows? There's so my fridge has such old shit in it. It's crazy. This is definitely bad. Oh wait, this one's not open. Oh, this isn't bad. I didn't even find the batteries.